It features the songs of ABBA and it's a huge success around the world. It's called Mamma Mia, and the stars of the West End show are Alexandra J and Samuel Boulden. And I've begun by asking them, with earning such money around the world, this musical must be able to pay them a fortune.
10 million a week, yeah. No, it is very good money. It's the best money I've earned, I must say that.
Yeah, they're a very good company to work for. You know, we obviously don't see that much of the, huge profits like that, but they are very generous, and what they do give you, they do give you perks, don't they?
Yeah, you get, your haircut's free, and you get your fake tan, because of course, being set on a Greek island, you need to look brown. Who says it's pasty as ever, but they do things like that. And if we opened Hungerford Bridge, we were all taken to Soho House to have a nice meal up there, and they really look after us.
Generous, very generous company to work for.
And as many free ABBA records as you want, I presume.
Yeah, I haven't actually got one. My dad's got all those already, so I don't need to go out and collect them all. I used to listen when I was little to all the ABBA soundtracks when I was about 6 on the headphones. So yeah, my dad's got the collection. Yeah, my dad's got all those.
No, after doing it 8 times a week, it's the last thing I'd want to listen to really in my spare time.
We're going to talk about how you keep it fresh a little later on, but first let's talk about the show itself and the fact that this has actually got a story to it. It's not just tediously linked together with all the different ABBA songs. It's very clever how they do that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the good thing about all the ABBA songs is that they're all about relationships. They're all sort of got their own little story, each song has. So it's very easy to fit the storyline around the words, around the lyrics. As far as keeping it fresh goes, I think Sam and I play lovers, and we mix things up every night. We change things, and
definitely, I think you have to make it fresh every night. You have to change it for yourself. It might not be a huge change, but I think there's subtle differences every night. And some nights it may go totally wrong for us on stage. You might think, oh my gosh, that was awful, but the audience won't realise that. But that's the whole thing about live theatre, isn't it? If you make a mistake, you cover it and no one knows. But it also keeps you on your toes as well. Do you know what I mean?
Our resident director Peter Addis, he always tells me off if I the blocking, say in a scene, where I'll walk. If I walk stage left and stand there, and then walk to stage right, he likes it to change. And sometimes I know in our argument scene, we often sort of surprise each other, which is good because you get an honest reaction straight away from the other actor. So we are lucky that we have the freedom to kind of go where we want and do what we want.
Why do you think this show is so successful? Because it could have just been another one of those touring ABBA shows or Queen shows or Carpenter shows. What do you think was the reason that this has become the world's #1 musical?
I think it's a good mix of, obviously everybody knows the songs, ABBA is worldwide, but also Kathleen Johnson, the writer, hasn't just sort of used it as a showcase for ABBA songs. She's actually written a really good story which links into all the songs. You don't think, oh, that's not going to fit, because it just sort of flows out. And the audience come here, and if they take it how it's written, if they don't take it as a serious piece, if they take it with the fun and the excitement it's supposed to be, then they laugh. When a song starts, they think, oh yeah, that fits there, and they laugh at it because it's just so, it is predictable in a way, but it's not predictable, because you think, how are they going to ever fit that song in there? But it does work, and I think that's why it's so well received, because it just brings smiles to people's faces.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a scene when the mother, Donna Sheridan, she sings The Winner Takes It All, and she's having an argument with someone that she used to have a love affair with, and he says, we don't want to talk about this now, and she says, I don't want to talk, and it just goes straight into the song, and the audience, it's supposed to be a serious moment, but they laugh. So it's just it's just very funny.
It's great things like that. And I love the opening to this musical, because the first note makes about 3 people on the front row have a heart attack, which I do like. It's always good to keep the audience on their feet, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. I think that's one of the designs, I think, to make people jump. And it starts off in quite a mystical way, but then it soon blends into the well-known tunes you all know and love, and that's when people start sort of perking up and sort of clapping along. You know what I mean?
We're here today with the stars of Mamma Mia from the West End. We're here with Alexandra and Samuel. And Sam, I got to ask you about your attire in this show, because I have to say, it didn't do anything for me. I thought it was inappropriate. You do seem to like to take your clothes off in this. You don't leave a lot to our imaginations, do you?
No, we don't. And I actually took this job without seeing the show before, and when I came to watch the show, I was slightly mortified at the nakedness that Sky gets down to. I mean, it's in a pair of trunks, but they're very skimpy trunks, which sort of cling to every contour of your body. But at the end of the day, it's a laugh, and it's not taken seriously, especially with my body. No, I'm not joking. But it's fun, and all the guys come in wetsuits, so it's you don't feel so stupid.
You've had an incredible career, Alexandra. You've been in My Fair Lady and Cats and The Wizard of Oz and things like that. Do you ever question why me? And do you ever fear that you might lose it? I mean, Frank Sinatra always used to talk about when he'd go on stage and he was such a big star and the pressure was so intense that he had to perform every night that he might not be able to be as good as he was. Do you worry about that?
Oh, definitely. Every day, I think, there are certain, at least, once a month, I think, oh God, maybe but as you sort of grow older, I think the one thing I had was a real freshness, a real enthusiasm. And of course, as you start to experience life and, this is sort of, my sixth show now, and, you start to sort of tire a little bit, and it might only be sort of 1%, but you do think maybe I'm going to lose whatever it was that I had to begin with. But I know there are people that can sort of sing this role a million times better than I can. People I know, I could list lots of people in this cast, but I just think, well, whatever it is that has given me this role, as long as I'm happy and believe in what I do and enjoy it, then you're either right for it or you're wrong for it. So
the great thing about both of your roles is that you have to be personalities to play them, really. And I realise this in this show. Seeing a lot of other shows, you don't really get to see a lot of character in a lot of the characters in other musicals. But in this, you really have to have fun with it and play with the role and allow your personality to come out. That must have been the reason you got the gig then.
Yeah, I think... Well, I actually auditioned for this role just before I did My Fair Lady, and I was 18 at the time, and I remember their sort of reaction was, yeah, it's great, but I think she's a bit twin set and pearls. I think I was a bit nice. I think I needed to go and experience life and sort of go out and party a bit almost. And and I came back to audition this time round, and and I had a tattoo, and they'd seen my tattoo, and God, my mum will hate me saying this right now, but she hates it. But I think they sort of thought, yeah, she's grown up a bit.
You're not saying they wanted you a bit dirty, are you?
No, but I think for to be able to sort of, my character does something that you need guts for, so it can't be too girly. You needs to be a bit of a wild child. Especially my mother plays a rock chick, an old rock chick who used to be in a band, and I think I've got to be a bit of a chip off the old block. So I think experience in life, I think as well, can help sometimes.
Before we go, I've asked a lot of the Broadway stars whether they have an ambition to come over here. I think it's far more glamorous for us to want to go over to Broadway. How do you feel about that? Do you dream to be in a Broadway show one day?
No, not really. To be honest, I don't dream of that, because if to me, being in the West End is where I'm from, England. So I'm at the top of my game at the moment in the West End. I'd love to. It'd be amazing to work in Broadway, but it's not one of my big ambitions to go over there. If I get the opportunity, I'm not obviously going to go no. I would go, but I'm not like, I just want to keep working in the West End and sort of in British TV and maybe British film. Just keep. I like to stay here, really, to be honest.
I'd like to do one show on Broadway, yeah, just to see what it's like. I've never even been to America. Something I must do next year, and go to New York and go and see a show on Broadway. But I heard that although loads of people over here want to make it on Broadway, they all want to come to London and make it in the West End. So I think we're kind of lucky where we are, and if it happens, it happens.
One thing that I'm very curious to find out from you both is, you're in the #1 musical, as we keep saying. Where do you go from here? Is there any dream role that would be better than this? Is there anything that would give you more of a thrill in terms of musical theatre? I mean, there's TV and film that I know you could do.
Yeah. Musical theatre. I've always liked the role of Angelas in Les Mis, just because, again, that's quite an actory kind of. I'm not too good on the dancey side of things, so I like and Blood Brothers as well, stuff like that, where it's quite a meaty role. But I've always liked Angelas in Les Mis. I wouldn't mind doing that.
I've been working on a musical for about a year now, where I play Christine Keeler, and that would be really good if that does come about in the next couple of years, because the whole Profumo scandal is such a big thing in history, and to play a real live person who's still alive now would be really good, and be the first person to do it. I think to open a show, I think I haven't done that yet.
Is originating the role the dream of every musical star?
Yeah, you want to be the first person. You want to be on the CD and getting your royalties, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Especially with a show like this, you can make millions out of it. In fact, I've got a figure here that it's gone gold in the US, the UK, Australia, Sweden, and platinum in Canada. Blooming millionaires, the people who are on that.
God, they must have. I didn't realise that. We've missed out there, Alex, haven't we? Big time.
I think we should, when the show moves,
Exactly,
if we stay on, because we'd both like to stay on for another year, and of course, they're auditioning at the moment, and you think, oh God, they're going to find someone better than me and chuck me out. But because it's such a successful show and everyone's so nice, I kind of want to stay for another year, and I've never wanted to do that before. I almost feel slightly unambitious doing that, but I mean, if you're in the show, if there's no problem with it, why try and fix something that's broken? Definitely. So I think when they move, I think they should re-record.
Yeah.
And we'll
nice. That's your thought and you're sticking to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a big year for it. It's 5 years old this year. They're celebrating all kinds of things this year. So it is a big year to be in it. And congratulations on getting the role, because it's not an easy part to do. But this is a real personality kind of show, and a show that you'll end up feeling a bit sad at some parts and then on your feet at the end, just as happy as you could be in any theatre. Congratulations on your performance, by the way. It's a brilliant show. It's Mamma Mia. It's on at the Prince Edward Theatre. Alexandra J, who plays Sophie, thank you so much for talking to me.
No, thank you very much.
And Samuel Board, thank you very much, and keep yourself in shape for the ladies, because just for me tonight, I'll come and sit again tonight. Just come on in a dinner jacket or something.
Do you think that? I'll come in my white suit with a bow tie maybe for the
Nobody
wedding.
will notice.
Yeah, they won't know, but I'll keep doing the press ups and the sit ups just to.
Socks down your pants.
See that? I've had a lot of that backstage.
You see, now this is the problem with the ladies, isn't it? You see, you think they're looking at your wonderful physique, but they're not.
No.
They don't even notice the fact you haven't got a t-shirt on or trousers.
I know, but we have great.
Great.
We have these great jock straps that sort of emphasise certain assets, so that you've got to take advantage. Well, it's true, you know what I mean.
I think I would be tempted to put a Ginster's pasty down there if it was me doing it.
Well, a little bit spicy and warm, I feel. Maybe just a couple of orangutans, a couple of oranges, maybe.
This is going desperately wrong. I think it's best that we leave it there and you get back on stage and that we play a piece of music. Let's take the title track from Mamma Mia here at the Prince Edward Theatre. Thank you so much, both of you, for talking to us today. Go and have a lie down.
Bye.
Cheers, thanks so much. Goodbye.
The Alex Belfield In Conversation podcast with daisymedia.co.uk.